Can you please tell us more about your background and your experience related to holistic health?
Hello, my name is Alberto. I'm a medical researcher. I specialize in functional medicine, and at the moment my main interest is in bioelectricity, in the field of bioelectronics, and this is why we joined forces with Healy and we can collaborate so well. Coming from the field of functional medicine, of course, the idea that the body is animated by electricity is something revolutionary and not well considered in the modern days, but it is definitely something that will happen to be the next step for well-being.
Elements are not just a regular supplement. They are a supplement line tailor-made for frequencies. Can you explain what is so unique about this synergy concept?
After meeting Marcus and working with him a few months on several topics, all relative to microcurrents, we were brainstorming one day, and Marcus came with the idea of developing supplements that were compatible to the harmonization that we create with microcurrents. That's a perfect combination because we have some solid materials, solid elements that enter the body, and then the migration of these elements through current. We live in an environment that is full of wrong signaling, coming from pesticides, from additives, from too many radio waves, and so the body needs correct signaling over the period of 24 hours to re-establish the internal clocks. Every organ, every cell has a specific clock that adapts speed of reproduction, speed of regeneration, energy output according to a specific rhythm that generally is divided in this biphasic activity, which is energy out, energy in. If we can modulate this through elements and microfrequencies, we can restore a perfect balance in the body that is the ground for health. What we need is biosignaling for the body to understand how to do it. So we're actually communicating, and that is fantastic because we have two main triggers. One is molecular through elements, and the other is microelectric. So the idea is to restore internal biosignaling so that the body will create a shield against all spurious communications. And then when we harmonize the body through ions and microelectricity, we know we are kept safe and protected.
You mentioned elements work through biosignaling, which is a revolutionary approach. How exactly does this work, and what are the benefits for us?
With the formulas and then with microfrequencies, we use a concept that is relatively new, but extremely effective, and that is called biosignaling. Bio is because we use mechanisms that are typical of nature, and signaling is because we're not inputting a substance like amino acids or vitamin C in large quantities, but we're asking the body to perform a function. And to give an example, anytime we put a perfume in our body, on our skin, we're actually creating a biosignal for others and also for ourselves because we can smell our own perfume. We also have pheromones. We produce smells that might attract specific other people or keep certain people away. These are allomones. So pheromones bring towards, allomones push away. And this is all part of biosignaling that we see in the animal kingdom, in plants. Just think about jasmine trees or pine trees. When you walk in a forest, all of this is biosignaling. You're actually filled with all the signals that come from nature, and if you like the signals, then the body will be strengthened. And nature speaks to us every moment. If we're not closed inside a home and we just walk in a park or we walk on the beach, we realize there's something different. And this is the signals that come from nature into us. Then our body will translate it into a state of mind, which might be being calm, being relaxed, or being triggered, or being happy. This is how nature established communication. And what we're trying to do here with the formulas is the same. We're trying to mimicry nature's voice. Even a very small signal might be very significant for the body. So it's not quantity, but quality that we're using here. When we add some signals into our body, and these signals mimicry nature, we are actually helping the body to restore harmony.
Can you explain the main concept behind the elements day and night formula?
The main activity of the body overall in the 24 hours is to keep energy floating, but in two different statuses. One is energy output, the other is energy input, which is catabolism and then anabolism. And so Marcus, while discussing, had the idea of producing just two formulas, two elements, or two compounds that could actually trigger this alternated phase. And so the idea of the day and night supplement came into life. Day and night formulas were then studied or designed to have this particular effect to couple with the energy that is naturally flowing from the moment we wake up. And so energy is then used to produce warmth, activity. Then at night we need to rest. So in order to produce more energy the day after, we need to go into a phase that is replacing the energy output with the energy input, absorption. And in doing this particular ritual of taking one formula in the morning and the other at night, we're just mimicking biosignals that then induce energy output or release, and then energy reabsorption or anabolism. And this happens in the morning and at night. And that was a fantastic concept for me, because it's mimicking the force of nature and the biorhythm that we have every 24 hours.
What are the biggest benefits of the morning supplement?
The morning is the time that we use in our body to start our energy production. And as we wake up, we need the stimulus to carry on with the day. So the morning is the time when we produce the largest amount of hormones, just because we need to have them to perform activity throughout the day until a certain point when these hormones will be, so to speak, exhausted, and then we will need to reinvert the phase. This moment needs specific triggers, and we use in the morning formula a few of those. One is coming from saffron. Saffron is a plant, of course, but it contains safranal. Safranal, the active principle, is a biosignaler, a trigger for the hypothalamus to activate energy, to be prompt. And this applies both to cognitively and physically, which means that we are now ready to face the day. One of the problems of not being able to face a difficult day, or even a normal day sometimes, is based on the fact that we don't have the signals. So we can actually replace or mimicry these signals right as we wake up. We have other ingredients as Q10, ubiquinone, which is also mimicking the function of mitochondria that need to be more active and pump electricity or ions within the cell. So in the formula we have safranal, we have Q10, we also have very active ions like iodine and iron. They're both stimulating the body to produce more energy. You mentioned when you're waking up and you just go on the beach where there's a light breeze and water from the sea is carrying iodine. That's the elements that we're trying to mimicry to trigger that will of performing, that will of life. And that is something that is based also on time. So that particular energy is in the morning and should last 12 hours or less sometimes. The day formula is balanced through the concept of ionomics, because we have iodine and selenium that balance each other out. One could be overstimulating, but selenium is also reducing the hyperstimulus after absorption. And this means that, yes, we do have the signals for energy, but we don't overdo. And a large amount of people on the planet uses coffee to wake up. without realizing that coffee has a short wave of energy, so it signals the body through caffeine to produce more energy, but then it will suck energy out of the body because it will produce a deficit shortly after, normally 3-4 hours after. This is why people that are devoid of energy will try to stimulate more and more, and our strategy is different. We want to induce a signal that then asks the body to produce energy rather than just forcing the body to just be overactive.
What are the biggest benefits of the evening supplement?
The night formula is designed to trigger the body into a different type of state. Relaxation doesn't come easy for many people because once energy is released, the idea of stopping this continuous energy pumping is not immediate. We have a sort of inertia from morning and afternoon. But we really need some signal that reverses the curve of energy. And this is why it is the time to introduce in the body another signal through the stripe and frequencies and tell the body it's now time to rest. One of the main ingredients that does that in the element formula is L-theanine, an extract, a specific molecule that is found in tea. And traditionally, even 3,000 years ago, Asian populations had this time of the day, which is symbolized in their way of counting time with a cup of tea. That indicates it is time to relax. We have to ask the body to do it because very often, especially in the rush of the day, especially with the spark of energy that we have, and maybe sometimes the worries, this signal doesn't happen in the body. So we substitute that, we mimicry the physiological signaling of relax with these molecules. The other ingredient in the night formula that triggers relaxation is phosphatidylserine. It mimicries the activity of the vagal reflex. That particular reflex that allows us to let go. If we eat while we're running, if we have a short time to ingest any type of food, digestion will not happen easily. So before we enter the phase of relaxation, we need some help to mimicry the biosignaling for the vagal ventral reflex. And that is extremely important because it allows the body to recuperate the energy for the day after. And it starts physiologically in the body at around 5-6 p.m. Another ingredient of the night formula is vitamin B6. Pyridoxine is important for the activity of coenzyme coefficient to trigger transformation of serotonin. And the particular burst that we need in the evening hours is also allowing the body to let the brain go out of the constraints of stress. So if we couple the signal of the vagal reflex plus the conversion of serotonin, we enter a phase that really means something for the body, but we're trying to say to the body, it is now time to be grateful about what you did, whatever you did, and then it is time to let go. We do it chemically, and we do it through microfrequencies together to be more effective and to signal what we want at that specific time of the day. The particular element that we use to modulate that phase of letting go, so to speak, is copper. As in the day formula, we have a very yang element like iron. Here we have a very yin element in the body, which is copper. As much as the day is requires us to be extroverted, the night time, the night phase requires us to be introspective, to regenerate, and to activate anabolism, which is regeneration of all the organs that were used or overused during the day.
Tell us more about the ingredient philosophy.
We have a choice when we create formulas, and that is to use natural ingredients or non-natural ingredients. Of course, we're trying to mimicry nature, so we will as close as possible to something that already exists and means something. It's again what nature does, and we do it to copy nature rather than to create artificial, unnatural type of molecular signal. We want to be as close as possible to nature. This is why we use something that already exists. We didn't use any genetically modified product. We use extracts of certain substances. We use minerals, but we try as much as possible to be similar to nature in our signaling. So the other component that we try to stay away from is animal products, because most of the times the animal industry for food is creating waves of stress on these organisms and is mistreating the whole species. We also try to stay away from this potential negative sub-signal, and this is why we are producing something that is vegan, is gluten-free, is natural, so that the body knows what is coming and knows how to respond in a way that is totally accepted. We speak the same language. That's what we want to do. This is why we're close to nature.
We talk about just a few ingredients per product, a very small formula. Why is that? And what is the advantage?
One of the peculiarities of these formulas is the fact that they don't contain too many ingredients, and they're formulated so to generate a harmonic interaction of the elements. When we see products that contain many ingredients, obviously they can be ingested, sometimes completely digested, but they're not designed to be biosignalers. Instead, what we are doing with our formulas is to create biosignals that should be very precise and coordinated, but not too chaotic. When we put too many ingredients in a formula, then we generate also a sort of metabolic noise, a thing that we don't want. We want the opposite. We want a metabolic signal that is clear, loud enough, and is received by the body, and it triggers a reaction.
How often should we take elements throughout the week or month? Is there a recommendation?
Signaling also means that we need to repeat the stimulus. Just taking a supplement once or a stripe once doesn't mean that the body understands. This is important, and we need to reiterate the message. The more we reiterate the message, the more the body will have a chance to understand that it comes at the same time and it means something in relation with biorhythms.
What is so special about this drink? Does it offer benefits over powders or pills?
The idea of administering a substance is crucial when we're trying to use a supplement. We're not actually giving the body something that it's not there. We're just trying to communicate something, so we use the right elements that act as a message. This is why we prefer the idea of an oral film that dissolves in the mouth, and then as the person swallows, it carries the information. It also carries it through the mouth itself as it is present there. In this case, we're just ingesting a molecule that is signaling, almost like when we're breathing something through the nose. We're not ingesting if we breathe within the nose the molecules of a pine tree.
What is the best way to take the strips?
As we are trying to work with biosignaling, we need to be aware that everything that happens in our surrounding, both in a molecular way and in a frequency way, can be noise. So as we want to increase the signal, so what is called signal to noise ratio, we want more signal, we can also reduce all other noises around. So we take the stripe when we are relaxed, when there's no other food in our mouth, when we didn't drink coffee, we have a neutral environment, and then the signal comes. We have a space, like a bubble. We dedicate daily concentration that we have. We want that signal to enter the body as quick as possible, but it needs to be a few seconds. So it also teaches us to take our own time, rather than just running and being busy with things. So we just sit, we relax our body, we just breathe in, breathe out, maybe a couple of times, and then we put the stripe gently on our tongue, and we just wait for that to dissolve. We might breathe again, and we don't ingest water with it, we just allow the process of signaling to happen. Then when this is finished, we can go on with our day. If somebody is able to meditate or to produce a sense of relaxation, gratitude, a mindful state, this is the best time to do it, because the mindfulness and the breathing slow will also activate vagal reflexes. We need to do it more at night, of course, so relaxation, being mindful of the environment is more important after 5 p.m. if we have a normal day. But in the morning we also need some sort of self-training to find the trigger for energy to come out and be successful. Almost like self-repeating to ourselves, so self-inducing a state of success, energy, efficiency. And we do it in few minutes, and then we're good to go for the day.